If America has a fighter jet that gives Russia and China sleepless nights, it must be worth discussing. Are you ready to be mesmerized by the qualities of the most modern fighter jet in the world? Of course you are. As the most survivable, lethal, and connected fighter jet, America's F-35 has taken airspace dominance to another level to become the centerpiece of 21st century global security, making Russia and China shiver. Do you want to know how? Watch this video compiled by Military Technology Updates to the end. Despite America's claim as the top nation on Earth, China and Russia are always not far behind, and any of these nations will gladly overtake the other for the bragging right of being the undisputable world power. This is why COVID was theoretically assumed to have been a deliberate decision by China to weaken the American economy and to overtake the nation as the most powerful nation on Earth. Former American President Donald Trump was unequivocal about this assumption and often blamed China for the unprecedented nature of the virus that threw the world into a pandemic. This is an example of the sometimes heated tussle between these nations for dominance on the global scene. However, for now, America has the foremost fighter jet in the modern world. It is named the F-3 Lightning II. What are F-3 Lightning II fighter jets? The F-3 is more than a fighter jet. It is the pride of the U.S. Air Force, which strengthens national security, contributes significantly to economic growth, and creates the platform for global partnerships. It is regarded as the most connected fighter jet in the world. It is also arguably the most survivable and lethal fighter jet in the world. It can carry 4 weapons while retaining its stealth, and its computing power is one of its main features. It's the reason it is described as a flying computer. It was built with the intention of winning battles while protecting the pilot. Therefore, any pilot on a mission with this fighter jet has a high chance of completing the mission and arriving home safely. It offers an asymmetric edge that gives its pilots an edge in the battle space. It possesses transformational abilities that make it seamless for its pilots to operate in any environment, including terrains that would have hampered the performance of some of the best fighter jets in the world. F-3 Lightning II is rightly regarded as the most advanced fighter jet in the world. It serves as the foundation of the air power coalition of 13 nations, and this number is set to increase in the coming years. It offers unmatchable situational awareness and connectivity that makes the coalition sleek and effective. Its unprecedented information sharing ability offers the coalition a seamless functioning. Why did Germany want this fighter jet? Due to its capability as a multi-role fighter jet, it's a no-brainer that the Air Force of any nation will want to be a proud owner of an F-3 Lightning II. However, the announcement of Germany to buy 35 such jets raised some eyebrows. This decision was announced by Defense Minister Christine Lambrecht. Germany intends to buy these jets to replace the Tornado fighter jets at its disposal. Interestingly, the Tornado fighter jets, which have been at the service of the German Air Force for over 40 years, share certain characteristics with the F-3 Lightning II. For example, they can also deliver American atomic bombs to their target. According to a security expert at the think tank European Council on Foreign Relations, Raphael Loss, Germany is investing in these fighter jets for military reasons. He explained that fighter jets that have stealth mode are the best for delivering nuclear bombs. Therefore, he lauded the decision of the nation to invest in these modern fighter jets. Raphael further explained that Germany needs a lower radar signature aircraft that will increase the ability of the nation's air force to engage long-range targets with enhanced accuracy. According to him, F-3 Lightning II fighter jets offer this capability better than any other fighter jet in the market right now. So he's convinced that the nation has made the right choice by investing in these fighter jets. Are these jets worth the cost? Everything that is top quality usually comes at a high cost, and the F-3 Lightning II is no different. The purchase of these fighter jets will cost Germany around $4.4 billion. That's a lot of money. On that basis, the opposition left party in Germany was against the acquisition of these fighter jets. According to the policy spokesman of the party, Ali Al-Dailami, the party rejects the acquisition of these fighter jets to equip the German Air Force. He explained that the purchase of these jets that are capable of carrying nuclear weapons would not deter a nation like Russia. Rather, it only fuels the possibility of the occurrence of a nuclear war in Europe. Ali posits that the context of the Russian invasion of Ukraine should not be misinterpreted as a reason to buy more weapons. Instead, the horrors of war and the damages to lives and properties should be used as a case study for arguments against war. Based on Ali's argument, the acquisition of these jets would be worthless if Germany was never involved in a nuclear war. He sees it as a panic buy, based on the anxiety that it might never be worth it in the long run if the world continues to ensure peace rather than engage in nuclear war. He believes that America simply wants to profit from the Russian invasion by influencing its allies to purchase its fighter jets. He pointed out the fact that the nuclear weapons that will be carried by these F-3 Lightning II fighter jets belong to America, making it evident that America is simply using Germany as a puppet in its never-ending rivalry with Russia and China. Before we continue, be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel, Military Technology Updates. Let's continue with the video. So, should Russia and China be worried? The Russian invasion of Ukraine might be one of the greatest mistakes of the nation. It has made it clear to other European nations around the world that they cannot guarantee that the former Soviet Union nation will keep its treaty with them. It has made it evident that the fact that they are part of the United Nations does not guarantee their protection, which is strengthening the bid to make NATO even stronger. Before the Russian invasion, Germany's decision to invest heavily in its air force would not have made any sense to its citizens and observers. The nation has decided to invest 100 billion euros to upgrade its military to be able to withstand any onslaught from a superpower. Usually, it would have been a move that would have attracted much criticism, but right now, it is greeted with deafening silence. Even the Greens, which should have opposed the motion, are silent. They were founded by pacifists and should have been against the German government, but they are now part of Germany's governing coalition. Lieutenant General Ingo Gerhardt is the highest-ranking soldier in Germany's Air Force. According to him, he is relieved that the nation has opted to purchase these fighter jets because it strengthens their military. He also pointed out the fact that other European nations have acquired these fighter jets. The invasion of Ukraine has made it obvious that NATO airspace has to be secured in order to adequately defend the alliance. The other nations that have opted for F-3 Lightning II fighter jets include Switzerland, the UK, Finland, and the Netherlands. So if Russia or China decides to make a move in the future for whatever reasons to invade or attack these European nations, they will find them ready to counter them and defend their territory. What about France? Unlike the other European nations, France has not joined the F-3 Lightning II fighter jets bandwagon. The nation is rather treading cautiously. According to Paul Maurice, an international relations expert in Paris, the decision has not gone down well with many policymakers. According to him, F-3 Lightning II fighter jets are interpreted as a symbol of US power within NATO. He explained that dependence on the US for military support could be dangerous because it is possible that the US will withdraw its troops from Europe at some point. If it happened during the tenure of former American President Donald Trump, who says it can't happen again. On this basis, he recommends that European nations should be more concerned about being autonomous when it comes to security. He expressed shock that a nation like Germany is investing in F-3 Lightning II fighter jets, which will make it dependent on the US rather than strengthening its force in such a way that it will be able to call the shots in case of an invasion or threat to its sovereignty. Besides, the French are afraid that the acquisition of F-3 Lightning II fighter jets could affect the Future Combat Air System, or FCAS. The FCAS is an alliance between Germany, France, and Spain that will help these three nations develop world-class fighter jets that will replace their current models by 2040. What is happening to Russia's Air Force? While European nations are trying to strengthen their military to be well equipped for a future Russian or Chinese onslaught, nothing remarkable has been happening of late with the Russian Air Force. Instead, it's bad news all around. During the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the Ukrainian Air Force shot down several armored vehicles, tanks, and aircraft belonging to the Russians. Shooting down the Su-35 is the cherry on the cake. This fighter jet is Russia's most advanced non-stealth fighter plane. Indeed, it is a slap on the face of the Kremlin. However, beyond that, it also puts the Russians at risk of letting the US have access to its most advanced piece of technology. According to Express, American and British scientists have been examining the secret of the long-range targeting system of this plane. Although the fighter jet was destroyed, media reports claim that the targeting system is available for meticulous examination. If this is true, it will be a huge blow to the Russian Air Force. Is the Russian Air Force losing its fear factor? The inability of the Russian Air Force to effectively dominate the Ukrainian airspace has been a major talking point since the beginning of the war. For many observers, it is a sign that Russia is losing its fear factor. Russia has some of the most sophisticated fighter jets in the world, but its air force so far has failed to provide any air support for its ground troops. It appears that the Russians have subscribed to a risk-aversive policy to preserve its aircraft while endangering its soldiers. It has been so confusing that US officials are dumbfounded by the approach. Despite the fact that the Russians have incredible superiority in terms of firepower and raw numbers, Ukraine's air force is still in operation, which would not have been viable based on predictions at the beginning of the war. Could this mean that the Russian Air Force has been unnecessarily more feared than necessary before now, or do the Russians have other plans? In conclusion, F-3 Lightning II fighter jets remain one of the best in the world, and this is the reason many nations are investing in them to strengthen their air force, especially after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Do you think the Russians are reserving their aircraft in case the US joins the war with its F-3 Lightning II fighter jets, or have they lost their fear factor? We'll be glad to hear from you in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then leave a like and ensure to subscribe to this channel to watch more videos from military technology updates.